Hi, I'm Kevin Shelley from the University of Wisconsin Nutrient and Pest Management Program.
And I'm Damon Smith, Extension Field Crops Pathologist at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. So Kevin, folks are taking off corn silage and they're starting to think about their nutrient management planning and applying manure. Can you talk about some of the ins and outs we should be thinking about as we're putting manure on this fall?
Sure. Well, first thing we need to know is what the nutrient requirement is going to be of the crop that's going to follow next year. We're here in the fall. This is the start of next year's crop production year. So we need to consider the crop we're going to grow and what the soil test recommendations are for that crop.
All right, so once we have that soil test and we know we're going to be putting some manure down and we kind of know where we need to be, how do we determine the nutrient content of that manure?
Right, so we need to know the nutrient content and to determine what the application rate should be. Nutrient content can be determined by referring to some guidelines, or what we call book values, published by the University of Wisconsin Extension. Or if we want to be a little bit more accurate with the manure that we have on our particular farm, we could do some manure sampling and send that sample into laboratory for analysis.
So Kevin, now we've figured out the nutrient content of that manure. I imagine that we have to then figure out the rate that we need to apply that based on those numbers, correct?
Right. So if we have a solid manure, a good way to do that is to weigh kind of an average load that we're going to take out to the field. There's lots of portable scales around at county offices and through UW Extension offices here in Wisconsin. Or maybe there's a non-farm scale, or maybe there's a scale nearby the farm, like at a grain elevator. That's a good way, and then we need to just make sure we keep track of the number of loads that go on a field of known acreage or per acre. If we're using liquid manure, the guideline is to use 80% of the rated tank volume to determine the amount of liquid manure that's going out on each load, and then again keep track of those loads.
All right, well, those are all great points there as we think about fall manure applications. If you'd like to learn more about fall manure or nutrient management planning, visit the Nutrient Pest Management website at ipcm.wisc.edu.